Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Mcintyre. We're here today at magnificent Garland, celebrating 50 years in the golf business. 50 years ago today, Herman Otto opened a 9-hole recreational course for his friends and employees, and today Garland is 3,500 acres, 4 magnificent golf courses in the largest log lodge east of the Mississippi. And today we had a little ceremonial tee-off with Mrs. Otto, who is 92, hit the first ball. Mr. Ron Otto, who now owns Garland, the son of the founder, and his son-in-law, and his daughter, and his grandchildren. So it's a family enterprise here just south of Lewis in beautiful northern Michigan.
Just playing the 8 holes, the original 9 holes, the best we can, which are 8 holes now, and just going to have a good time. So keep score. We'll do a scoreboard just for laughs. The par 3s are going to have a proximity marker for some prizes, so if you're able to knock one real close, please put your name on that. What we'd like to do, if there's no questions, is everyone can just follow the cart ahead of them. We're going to drive up to the old clubhouse, and we're going to make a presentation there, a real quick presentation. We'll get started from that point on.
Say hello, everybody, to Mrs. Otto, Mrs. Hildegard Otto.
Yes.
Right. This is Ron's mother and Herman Otto's widow. And happy anniversary, my dear.
Oh, thank you very much.
So 50 years ago, do you remember it like it was yesterday?
Not quite.
No?
Not quite. But it's been nice all along. And I always like to come here to the club and to the golf course.
How long did it used to take you to get back in 1951 when you and Herman and the kids piled in the family van and drove up here? How long did it take?
Oh, 4 hours.
4 hours?
4
yeah.
hours, yes. Uh-huh. Oh, if you want to know, when we came here and they were, farmers know, somebody was doing something with a machine. And I asked my husband, what are they doing here? And he says, well, I think they're making a golf course. I said, now who would be that crazy to make a golf course up north in this neighborhood? And he said, you're an old man.
That's how you got it from the horse's mouth.
Absolutely, right. So it is a true story.
It is
Yeah, oh, definitely. That's the way it was.
What about Garland Manufacturing?
No, not very much. I think Ron is
Dad
better
gave her
than
the
us.
mushroom treatment.
Oh, okay.
It was, the old country.
Right. How about turkeys? Can you talk about wild turkeys?
Oh, yes. My husband, he had some eggs coming from, I think, out east, Pennsylvania or someplace. And then well, what do you say when you...
Incubate them?
Yes.
He built like a 15-acre pen to make it a very natural setting. And he worked with the Pennsylvania Fish and Game.
Right.
And over a 2-year period, he let 1,500 wild turkeys go here in the state. And really the great part of the success here is really due to Herman Otto. And I'd like to say that because he's never been given the respect for that or the honor for that. And it's really Herman Otto who got the turkey going here.
Garland is certainly known as a wildlife sanctuary, and I think it's an important story that Herman Otto brought the wild turkey to northern Michigan. In addition to wild and to white-tailed deer, we also have a pair of nesting bald eagle. Do you see the eagle often?
No. Oh, yes, over East Twin. Once in a while I see one going by. So they're still coming around.
Well, Mom, too, don't you think that if you look around here and back of us, all these trees, and you have to keep in mind in 1951, just before it, this was a wheat field.
Right.
There wasn't a tree here. And Dad's dedication to reforestry and the environment, he's always been an environmentalist. He just didn't put it on the front of his shirt and say, I'm an environmentalist. He lived it. He lived it to the day he died.
Yeah. All those trees were real little, and he planted most of them.
Look at this maple right here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's amazing what he can do in 50 years.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, again, happy anniversary.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very
And
much.
thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And another
You're
happy
welcome.
50.
Yes, thank you. That's right.
Come on, Gunner, hit one for us.
Jazz.
Yeah, right.
No intent.
Grandfather did that a lot.
Right in the back of the middle. Right in the middle.
Set the pace for you, Barry.
On my right, ladies and gentlemen, is Ron Otto, and on my left is the general manager of Garland, Barry Owens. 50 years ago today, my friend, back in 1951, I mentioned earlier that in 1951 it was 3 years from Arnold Palmer turning pro. Did you ever think it would ever come to this?
Never did I ever think it would come to this.
Major player in northern Michigan and a major player in the summer golf capital of the country.
Well, quite frankly, when Barry, not too fresh out of college, and Ursula, and we ran that first year out of a mobile home, the ruins, the smoke almost still, you could smell it from the last fire. It was a terrible fire. At that point, we really weren't thinking about where it is today. But I'll tell you, by the second year, and we saw the demand, and we really worked and planned, and then we could see what was going to happen here in northern Michigan, and we had to grab our position.
I think when Garland was founded back in 1951, there were 250 some golf courses in the state of Michigan. Now I think there are over 900 golf courses.
Something like that.
You know,
I believe with the private ones closer to 1,200.
really,
Yeah.
really.
You know, I remember when I started here back in 1986.
You were a wee lad.
I was a wee lad, had more hair, and but you know, it was kind of interesting. I had the opportunity to come to work for Ron, and very excited about it. And I remember that the presentation to me is that we were going to build a 28-room inn, and we were going to close in the wintertime, and we were all going to go like to the islands. And we were just gonna, just work hard in the summertime and take the rest of the year off. And I don't know what happened to that. I'm still negotiating.
Hi, we're here with Barry Owens, who's the general manager here at Garland Resort on Valentine's Day. And we're here at the start of the Gourmet Glide. This is one among several activities. Tell us about that.
The Gourmet Glide, it's an event we've been doing here for years, and we call it a non-competitive ski event, and you go through 5 different stations where you just eat and drink. It's one of the few cross-country skiing adventures where you can gain weight while you do it. So we'll have about 150 people doing it today, and it's a lot of fun. There'll be some groups of people going around together, and one of the big highlights is what we call trout camp. And that's where we drill a hole in the ice, and you can actually catch rainbow trout right through there, and then they're cooked up for you right there at the ice pond. So that's a lot of fun. People really enjoy it.
My mouth is watering thinking about that one already. And so how many stops do they have on the Gourmet Glide?
Actually, the first stop is right here at the lodge, and then they have 3 out on the property where they ski to, and then the last one, of course, brings them back here to the safety back of the main lodge for their final stop and their final group of food there.
It's not competitive, but how long is it?
It's a little less than 10 kilometers, and it's very easy terrain. There's people that some of them will snowshoe it. We have a thing called the Wimp Wagon that'll bring people back if they can't make it all the way. So we can accommodate whatever people's skill level is.
That sounds like fun. And I see you have an ice skating pond. What kind of use does that get in the winter?
It's real good. I mean, it's this has been a great winter for snow, for making ice, for anything outdoors. And there's a lot of people. There's a part set up so if kids want to play some hockey or adults, and then just regular figure skating on the weekends. We have it lit up out there, and we also have a little bonfire that people can stay warm with. So it gets a tremendous amount of use.
And I saw a lot of people with sleds. I assume there's a place where they take their sleds, and there's a downhill slope somewhere.
Yeah, there is. We've got a hill that's over on the southern part of the property here, and a lot of people go over and do their sledding there. It's right by some of the condos we have here on property, so it's a lot of fun for all ages to go up there and test the little slope there.
And the other thing that we saw were snowmobilers. Looks like there's a fair number of them who come here. There's quite a few of them parked on the other side.
Yeah, there sure is. We're right in the midst of the DNR trail system, and the DNR does an excellent job of growing in this area and all of northern Michigan. And so a lot of people use Garland as a headquarters. A lot of times people are confused and they think we allow snowmobiling on the property, which we really don't. I mean, they can have access to get in and out to our parking lot, but they can use this as a place to stay, and then they can hit the trail system all day long and then come back to enjoy the food and beverage and the accommodations here at Garland.
And we saw quite a few folks load up on a sleigh, a bright red one with horses. What's that all about?
Yeah, we actually have a couple different things we do with the sleighs. We have just regular sleigh rides that people that are either staying here or just people in the area can come in and go for a half-an-hour sleigh ride. But one of the big events we also do, it's called Zhivago Night, and it's named after Dr. Zhivago. And people leave on a horse-drawn sleigh with the 2 big Belgian draft horses, and they go out to a old hunting lodge out in the woods, and they sit down for a 5-course wild game gourmet dinner, entertainment, wine paired with each course, playing Laura's theme when you walk in the door. It's a really special event, and there'll be 2 different groups going out to do that tonight. We do it every weekend and some days during the week.
Well, winter is definitely special here at Garland Resort. Thank you very much, Barry.
Thank you. But no, it's been great. I can't believe it's been as long as it has.
Well, my role in Garland's been a minor one over the last 13 years. I help with the advertising and marketing. Of course, I won't get any credit for that. But the point that I wanted to make is that November 1st in 1987, when I first drove through the gates of Garland, and I've never really gotten over what a thrill it is, even yet, still today. And with me today is the mayor. This is Mr. Bud Decker, who was, I believe, the first property owner at Garland. Is that not true?
That's correct, Jim. We bought a condo sight unseen back and put a deposit down in 1989.
I remember the first time I met Bud, the mayor. I said, Mr. Mayor, what do you like about Garland? You remember what your comment was?
Well, all I know is I love golf, and I think it was something to do with champagne.
Absolutely, right. What he said was, we're Champagne people, and Garland's a Champagne place. You cannot go through those gates and not realize that you're here for a very special time in a very unique part of the world. So both of you gentlemen, congratulations on a great 50, and we're looking forward to the second half century.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave.
I'd like to thank everybody very much for coming, and I think Mr. Otto, Ron would like to say a couple words too, I think. Well, I never really like to thank you all for coming. It's been a very emotional day for me personally. It's Bud here who split these stones here some 50 years ago. He's with us. I think he deserves a round of applause. Not only that, he was a past master. I got to tell a story. I know the kids don't like to hear it, but you know, 100 years ago, his first hole was 512 yards. There was no plastic pipe then, it was iron pipe. And he had me with a pickaxe and a shovel digging a 42-inch deep trench, 517 yards down that hole. You remember that, huh?
Said I can't do this.
Leo and God bless your brother Fred, who's been here forever. And everybody who's really helped make Garland what it is. It's been a very emotional day, I can see. And David and the crew and everybody, everyone's been so gracious. And I can't say enough about my mother. She's always stood by the kids. Whenever we got a little out of line or something, especially me, my sister was always an angel. But, you know, she was always there for me and still is today. Thank you very much.